in a body that's tired, heavy, and unfamiliar. For millions over 40, obesity isn't just a number on the scale, it's a thief that robs you of energy, joy, and years with the ones you love. Did you know that just 10 extra pounds after 50 can spike your heart disease risk by 25%? Or that obesity raises your chance of dementia by 40%? These aren't just statistics, they're your body's desperate plea for change. Every bite you take, every sleepless night, every day you skip, moving your body is like adding weight to a scale that's already tipping against you. But what if you could tip it back? What if 3 simple habits, eating the right foods, walking for just 10 minutes, and sleeping well, could transform your life in ways you never thought possible? Eleanor, the woman you just saw, was 71 when she faced a moment that broke her heart. For years, she dismissed her weight gain as part of getting older. She'd tell herself it was normal to feel tired, to ache, to struggle with stairs. But one evening, her daughter sat her down and said words that cut deeper than any doctor's warning. "Mom, I'm scared you won't be here for my kids' graduations. Your health is slipping away." Those words weren't just a wake-up call, they were a tidal wave of fear and love. Eleanor wasn't just carrying extra weight, she was carrying the terror of missing her grandchildren's lives, of leaving her family too soon. That night, she sat alone in her kitchen, tears streaming down her face, and made a vow. She would fight not just for herself, but for the people who needed her. Her story is the story of millions who feel the same weight, not just on their bodies, but on their hearts. The truth is, Eleanor's struggle is not hers alone. Obesity is a global epidemic, and for people over 40, it's a battle that grows tougher with each passing year. According to the World Health Organization, over 1.9 billion adults are overweight, and 650 million are obese. For older adults, the stakes are even higher. As we age, our bodies change in ways that make weight gain easier and weight loss feel like pushing a boulder uphill. But here's the light in this darkness. Thousands of seniors are rewriting their stories with 3 simple habits: eating nutrient-rich foods like salmon and kale, walking 10 minutes after meals, and sleeping 7 hours a night. In just 1 month, they've lost up to 15 pounds, lowered their blood pressure, and rediscovered an energy they thought was gone forever. No fad diets, no grueling workouts, just practical, science-backed steps endorsed by institutions like the Mayo Clinic. This video is about peeling back the truth about obesity, debunking the lies you've been told, and handing you a clear, actionable plan to reclaim your health. By the end, you'll know exactly what to eat, how to move, and why sleep is your secret weapon. But first, let's dive into why obesity becomes a fiercer foe after 40, and why it's not your body after 40 is like a garden that's weathered decades of seasons. It's still beautiful, still capable of blooming, but it needs more care, more attention. Your metabolism, which once burned calories like a bonfire, slows by about 1-2 every decade. That means the same sandwich or pasta dish you ate at 35 is now more likely to settle as fat instead of fueling your day. You start losing muscle mass, a condition called sarcopenia, which makes even simple tasks like carrying groceries or climbing stairs feel harder. Hormonal changes pile on the challenge. For women, menopause slashes estrogen levels, redirecting fat to your belly, where it's not just stubborn but dangerous, wrapping around your organs and fueling disease. For men, declining testosterone has a similar effect, piling weight around the midsection, making it harder to stay lean. And then there's stress, whether it's worrying about retirement savings, caring for aging parents, or keeping up with energetic grandkids. It floods your system with cortisol, a hormone that screams, "Store fat now." It's like your body is working against you, even when you're trying your hardest to do the right thing. But the real terror of obesity isn't just a bigger waistline or tighter clothes, it's a cascade of destruction that touches every part of your life. The Mayo Clinic warns that obesity boosts your risk of type 2 diabetes by a staggering 70%, high blood pressure by 50%, and heart disease by 40%. It erodes your joints, turning simple walks into painful ordeals, making you dread the activities you once loved. And here's the one that stops people in their tracks. Obesity is linked to brain damage. A 2024 study from the Harvard School of Public Health found that excess weight can shrink your brain's gray matter, increasing your dementia risk by 35%. Every extra pound is like a fog creeping over your future, dimming the years you could spend with your loved ones. Imagine forgetting the sound of your spouse's laugh, missing your grandchild's first words, or not recognizing the faces of the people you love most. It's a heartbreaking thought, but it's not your destiny. The science is clear. You can push back, and it starts with small, intentional choices that work with your body's needs. Let's linger on that image for a moment. Picture yourself unable to recall the moments that define your life, the joy of your child's wedding, the warmth of your partner's hand, the pride of watching your grandchildren grow. Obesity doesn't just steal your health, it threatens your memories, your connections, your legacy. It's not just about fitting into old clothes, it's about being present for the people and moments that matter. But here's the lifeline. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You don't need to run marathons, starve yourself, or spend hours in the gym. The solution lies in 3 simple habits: eating nutrient-dense foods, walking for 10 minutes after a meal, and prioritizing sleep. Dr. Michael Chen, a nutritionist with 25 years of experience, sees this transformation every day. Sitting in his warm office, surrounded by books and patient success stories, he leans forward, his voice calm but urgent. Obesity isn't about a lack of willpower, he says. It's about biology, habits, and a food industry that profits from your confusion. I had a patient, Robert, who was 68 and weighed 250 pounds. He was on meds for diabetes, could barely sleep, and felt like his life was over. But when he started eating salmon and kale, walking after dinner, and getting 7 hours of sleep, everything shifted. In 1 month, he lost 14 pounds, his blood sugar stabilized, and he was sleeping like a rock. It wasn't magic, it was science. So, what's the secret behind these 3 habits? It's about working with your body's natural rhythms, not fighting against them. Let's start with food. A meal built around salmon, kale, quinoa, and avocado is like premium fuel for a car that's been running on empty. Salmon is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation, a key driver of obesity and chronic disease. Kale is packed with fiber, which fills you up, steadies your blood sugar, and keeps you from reaching for snacks an hour later. Quinoa provides protein and complex carbs, rebuilding muscle, and giving you sustained energy without spiking your insulin. Avocado's healthy fats curb cravings and reduce inflammation, so you're not tempted by that late-night cookie. Together, these foods create a meal that nourishes without overloading your system. A 2023 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that meals like this can cut visceral fat, the dangerous kind that wraps around your organs and fuels disease, by 18% in just 4 weeks. And the best part? This meal costs less than $5 a serving, using ingredients you can find at any grocery store, from Walmart to your local market. Next, let's talk about the 10-minute walk after dinner. This isn't about burning hundreds of calories or training for a race, it's about timing and consistency. When you eat a meal, your blood sugar and triglycerides, a type of blood fat, spike. Left unchecked, these spikes damage your arteries, stress your heart, and pile on fat. But a short walk within 30 to 60 minutes of eating acts like a reset button. It boosts your metabolism, helps your muscles soak up glucose, and lowers triglycerides before they can do harm. A 2023 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology found that just 10 minutes of brisk walking after a meal can cut blood sugar by 20% and triglycerides by 15%. Over a month, that adds up to less fat, a healthier heart, and even better sleep. Why sleep? Because walking triggers the release of melatonin later in the evening, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. It's like giving your body a gentle nudge toward balance. Sleep is the 3rd pillar, and it's often the most overlooked. Poor sleep doesn't just leave you tired, it wreaks havoc on your hormones, your appetite, and your metabolism. When you get less than 7 hours a night, your body produces more ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and less leptin, the hormone that signals fullness. This makes you crave sugary, high-calorie foods like donuts or chips. A 2022 study from the National Institutes of Health found that sleeping less than 7 hours a night increases your hunger hormones by 25, setting you up for overeating the next day. But a consistent sleep schedule 7 to 8 hours, going to bed at the same time each night resets your metabolism, stabilizes your mood, and reduces inflammation. It's like giving your body a nightly tune-up, preparing it to burn fat and fight disease. Ready to start today? Here's how to make these habits part of your life. Step 1. Build your dinner. Cook 4 ounces of salmon, chicken, or lentils for protein. Add a half cup of quinoa, brown rice, or sweet potato for complex carbs. Fill half your plate with 2 cups of kale, spinach, or broccoli non-starchy vegetables that are high in fiber and low in calories. Finish with a tablespoon of olive oil or a quarter of an avocado for healthy fats. Keep it simple. You don't need fancy recipes. Bake the salmon at 400F for 15 minutes. Steam the veggies in the microwave and boil the quinoa for 15 minutes. Step 2. Wait 15 to 30 minutes after eating. Then head out for a 10-minute walk. Aim for a pace where you can talk comfortably, but not sing. If you can't go outside, pace your living room, march in place, or walk your hallway. Step 3. Prioritize sleep. Aim for 7 hours, ideally going to bed by 10 or p.m. Avoid screens an hour before bed. The blue light disrupts melatonin production. Track your progress for 1 month. Note your energy, mood, sleep, and weight. These steps are simple, but they're powerful. They're not about perfection, they're about progress. But here's where most people stumble. They fall for myths that sabotage their efforts. Let's debunk a few. Myth 1. You need to starve yourself to lose weight. Wrong. Cutting calories too low slows your metabolism and spikes hunger hormones like ghrelin, making you overeat later. Myth 2. All carbs are bad. Not true. Complex carbs like quinoa or brown rice provide steady energy and stabilize blood sugar. A 2024 study in The Lancet found that balanced carb diets outperform low-carb fads for sustainable weight loss. Myth 3. Exercise has to be intense to work. Absolutely false. A 10-minute walk after a meal is more effective than a grueling gym session for controlling post-meal blood sugar and triglycerides. Another mistake? Trusting healthy foods blindly. Store-bought smoothies, low-fat yogurts, and granola bars often hide sugars that spike your insulin worse than a candy bar. A 2022 study from the Cleveland Clinic found that hidden sugars in processed foods are a leading driver of obesity in older adults. The food industry banks on your trust, but it's time to take a closer look at what's on your plate. Another trap is thinking you're too old to change. This is one of the biggest lies of all. Your body is resilient, no matter your age. Research from the American Geriatric Society shows that seniors who adopt healthy habits in their 60s or 70s can cut their heart disease risk by 30% in just 1 month. Your metabolism may be slower, but it's not broken. Your muscles may be weaker, but they're not gone. Your hormones may be shifting, but they're not your enemy. The key is to work with your body's changes, not against them. Feed it nutrient-rich foods. Move it gently, and give it rest, and it will respond. Ignore it, and the consequences pile up faster than you think. Let's revisit Eleanor. After her daughter's plea, she felt like her world was crumbling. She tried diets before: low carb, low fat, even meal replacement shakes, but nothing lasted. She was ready to give up, convinced her best years were behind her. But then she heard about these 3 habits from a friend. Skeptical, but desperate, she gave them a try. She started with a simple dinner: salmon, kale, quinoa, and a drizzle of olive oil. She walked 10 minutes around her neighborhood after eating, listening to the birds and breathing deeply. She set a bedtime of 10 p.m., turning off her TV an hour earlier. Within 5 days, she felt less bloated and more alert. By week 2, her blood pressure dropped and her jeans were looser. In 1 month, she'd lost 12 pounds, her energy soared, and she was playing with her grandkids without gasping for breath. I thought I was too old to feel good again, she says, tears welling in her eyes. Now, I feel like I've got years to live for my family, for myself. Eleanor's transformation didn't happen because she was superhuman. It happened because she made small, intentional changes that aligned with her body's needs. And that's the secret. Working with your biology against it. After 40, your body is less forgiving, but it's also incredibly resilient. Feed it the right fuel, move it in ways that feel good, and give it the rest it craves, and it will reward you. Ignore it, and the consequences are brutal. Let's talk about those consequences again, because they're too serious to gloss over. Obesity doesn't just make you tired, it sets off a chain reaction. It clogs your arteries, raising your risk of a heart attack or stroke. It overwhelms your pancreas, leading to diabetes that can steal your vision, your limbs, or your independence. It grinds down your knees and hips, turning every step into a battle. And it clouds your brain, robbing you of memories, clarity, and the ability to live fully in the present. Dr. Jason Fung, a leading expert on obesity, puts it bluntly, excess weight isn't just a cosmetic issue, it's a chronic disease that shortens your life. His research shows that obesity can cut your lifespan by up to 7 years. 7 years. That's 7 fewer birthdays, 7 fewer holidays, 7 fewer moments with the people you love. Imagine missing your grandchild's wedding or not being there to cheer at their soccer games. But here's the flip side. Every pound you lose, every healthy meal you eat, every walk you take is a step toward reclaiming those years. A 2023 study from the American Heart Association found that losing just 10% of your body weight can lower your heart disease risk by 20% and your diabetes risk by 30%. That's not just science, it's a lifeline. So, let's dive deeper into how to make these habits your own. The beauty of this approach is its flexibility. Don't like salmon? Swap it for chicken, turkey, or lentils. Not a fan of kale? Try spinach, arugula, or zucchini. The key is balance. A third of your plate should be lean protein, a third complex carbs, and a third colorful vegetables, with a touch of healthy fat to tie it all together. If you're worried about time, prep your meals ahead. On Sunday, cook a batch of quinoa. Roast a tray of vegetables like broccoli, carrots, or bell peppers, and grill some chicken or fish. Store them in containers, and you've got dinners ready for the week. It takes less than an hour and saves you stress all week long. A 2024 study in the Journal of Nutrition found that people who meal prep were 25% more likely to stick to healthy eating habits. It's not about being a gourmet chef, it's about being kind to your body. Let's talk about the walk in more detail. The 10-minute walk after dinner is powerful because of its timing. After you eat, your blood sugar and triglycerides spike, driving fat storage and inflammation. Walking within 30 to 60 minutes captures that moment, helping your muscles absorb glucose and lowering those harmful fats. Aim for a brisk but comfortable pace, fast enough to raise your heart rate slightly, but not so fast you're gasping. If you're new to walking, start slower, and if mobility is an issue, try seated exercises like leg lifts or arm circles to get your blood flowing. If you can't go outside, pace your home, march in place while watching TV, or walk the hallways of your apartment. The movement matters more than the setting. A 2023 study from the University of Oxford found that people who walked outdoors reported 20% less stress than those who exercised indoors. So if you can get outside, do it. The fresh air and sunlight boost your mood and lower cortisol. Sleep is just as critical, and it's more than just closing your eyes. A consistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, helps regulate your body's rhythms. Aim for 7 to 8 hours, ideally starting by 10 or p.m. Avoid screens an hour before bed. The blue light suppresses melatonin, making it harder to fall asleep. Create a calming bedtime routine, maybe read a book, sip herbal tea, or listen to soft music. A 2024 study from the National Sleep Foundation found that consistent sleep schedules improved sleep quality by 25% in seniors, leading to better energy and fewer cravings. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for weight loss and health. Community can make all the difference. Changing habits is easier when you're not alone. Share these habits with a friend, spouse, or neighbor. Cook together, walk together, or just check in on each other's progress. Research from the University of Oxford shows that people who pursue health goals with others are 40% more likely to stick with them. Eleanor, for example, started a walking group with her neighbors. It wasn't just about the exercise, she says. It was about laughing, sharing stories, feeling connected. That sense of community turned a habit into a joy, making it easier to stay committed. Find your people, and make these habits a shared journey. Let's circle back to the science, because understanding why this works can keep you motivated. The foods salmon, kale, quinoa, avocado target insulin resistance, a key driver of obesity. Insulin resistance happens when your cells stop responding to insulin, leading to high blood sugar and fat storage. Over time, this can cause diabetes, but fiber-rich vegetables and protein stabilize insulin, while healthy fats reduce inflammation. The 10-minute walk boosts insulin sensitivity, helping your cells use glucose efficiently. Sleep regulates hormones like ghrelin and leptin, keeping hunger in check. A 2024 study in diabetes care found that combining these habits reduced insulin resistance by 25% in seniors after 1 month. This isn't just about losing weight, it's about resetting your body's systems. But what about days when life gets in the way? Maybe you're traveling, or it's a hectic week. That's okay, flexibility is key. If you can't walk after dinner, try after lunch or breakfast. If 10 minutes feels too long, start with 5 and build up. If you miss a day, don't give up, just get back to it tomorrow. The goal is consistency, not perfection. Dr. Chen's 80-20 rule is a lifesaver. Aim to follow these habits 80% of the time, and give yourself grace for the other 20%. Life happens, he says. What matters is that you keep showing up. His words are a reminder that this journey is about resilience, not rigidity. Another concern is plateaus. You start strong, lose a few pounds, then the scale stops moving. This is normal. Your body adapts to weight loss by burning fewer calories. To break through, tweak your habits. Try a new vegetable, maybe roasted Brussels sprouts or cauliflower. Switch up your protein, shrimp instead of chicken. Add a minute or 2 to your walk. Small changes keep your body engaged. A 2024 study in obesity found that people who varied their meals and exercise were 30% less likely to hit a plateau. It's about keeping things fresh, not forcing yourself into extremes. Let's talk about the long game. These habits aren't a quick fix, they're a lifestyle. To make them sustainable, focus on how they make you feel, not just the number on the scale. Notice the energy, the better sleep, the ease in your joints. Celebrate those wins. Keep a journal, take photos, or share your progress with a loved one. These reminders fuel your motivation. A 2023 study from the National Institutes of Health found that seniors who tracked their habits were 35% more likely to maintain weight loss for a year. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. Let's hear one more story to drive this home. George, a 69-year-old retired teacher, was 270 pounds and facing heart surgery. I thought I was done, he says. But his son showed him these habits. He started with the simple dinner: chicken, quinoa, and spinach. He walked 10 minutes after eating, and he went to bed by p.m. In 1 month. He lost 15 pounds, his cholesterol dropped, and his doctor canceled the surgery. I'm not just alive, I'm living, George says, grinning as he tosses a ball with his grandkids. His story is proof that it's never too late to change. So, what's stopping you? Maybe it's fear of failure, lack of time, or feeling too old. Those are real, but they're not stronger than you. Start with 1 meal, 1 walk, 1 good night's sleep. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to begin. The Mayo Clinic's research shows that small, consistent changes can add years to your life. Years to laugh, love, and live fully. These habits are your starting line, not your finish line. They're tools to unlock a healthier, happier you. Picture this: a year from now, you're 20 pounds lighter,